Yes, yes, students. It's audible. Is it audible? Anyone can unmute yourself
Yes, sir.
to speak. Yes, it's audible to
Yes,
everyone.
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. You can off your camera or microphone. Okay, let's start. Let me start. Okay, so start today's topic or today's the first class of this subject, object-oriented programming. Before we start the subject, let's see what's the syllabus of this subject. Now I think it's visible to you. Syllabus of the subject. In subject title is object-oriented programming. Credit of the subject is 2 credit, and the maximum marks of the subject is 100. And internal assessment. Please unmute your mic.
नहीं है
Hello. Okay. This is syllabus of your subject object-oriented programming. Is credit 2 subject, and the maximum marks for the subject is 100. And internal assessment or midterm is 20 marks, and end term exam of this subject will be 80 marks. And the the end term exam will be held for 2 hours. 2 lecture per week. This is the content of your syllabus. The first unit is introduction. The review of structure in C, what you have seen structure in your first semester, you will review, and how to access the member of structure using structure variable, pointer to structure, passing structure to function, and structure as a user defined data type. We will discuss this thing in unit 1. It will took around 5 hours. And unit 2 is introduction to programming paradigm. Concept of object, class, object as a variable, class data type, different in structure, and ये इसका माइक्रोफोन ऑन है, इसको ऑफ कीजिए. आप लोग अपने सारे लोग अपने माइक्रोफोन को ऑफ कर दीजिए. It is creating noise. Okay. So in this unit 2, we will discuss concept of object, class, object as a variable, class data type, difference in structure and class in term of access members, private and public, basic of C++, structure of C++ program, introduction to defining members, functions within or outside the class, keyword using declaration class, creating object, constructor and deconstructor, how we can initialize the member value, within or without use of constructor, simple program to access and manipulate data members, sin and sin out functions. There are many functions in C++. We will discuss all of these functions in this unit 2. Danger of returning reference to private data type members, constant object, member function, and member of a class, data function members, characteristics of object oriented programming, data hiding concept, and encapsulation and data security. We will discuss all this concept in unit 2. It will took around 10 hours. It took around 10 hours for unit 2. And unit 3 syllabus is operator overloading. In unit 3, operator overloading, fundamental of operator overloading, restrictions, operator function as a class members versus as a friend function. All this concept will be discussed in unit 3. It will take 5 hours. In the unit 4. Unit 4 is inheritance, basic classes and derived classes, protected members, relationship between base class and derived class, constructor, deconstructor, derived class, public, private, and protected, inheritance, relationship among objects in inheritance, hierarchy, abstract classes, virtual function, dynamic bundling. All this concept will be discussed in unit 4, and again it will take around 5 hours. The last unit is multiple inheritance, virtual base classes, class members, multiple class members, template and exception handling. All this concept we will discuss in the last unit. Again, it will be 5 hours. The complete course of object oriented will be covered in 30 hours. So this is the syllabus of object oriented programming. So before we start the subject, any subject or anything, there is some kind of objective. Why we are studying this subject? Or why we are doing this thing? So as of this, object-oriented programming has also has some objective. So what are that objective? Let's discuss. Objective of this course. Object-oriented programming. First, what is the learning outcome of this course? Learning outcome, and there are two things: learning outcomes and course objective. What is the difference between learning outcome and course objective? Any of you can describe? Can you tell me about any of these two terms? What is the meaning of learning objective, learning outcomes, and course objective? Anyone can unmute your mic and can speak.
सर दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है.
What? Is it not visible? One minute.
सर आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही है अभी.
आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही है
आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही?
सर. दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है.
नहीं आ रही सर.
दिखाई दे रहा है?
दिखाई तो दे रहा है लेकिन आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही है.
आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही?
आवाज क्लियर नहीं सर.
ओके ओके. हाँ, अब आवाज क्लियर आ रही है आपको?
नहीं
अभी भी नहीं आ रही?
आ रही है सर.
हाँ, तो
Yes, sir.
आप लोगों से किसी को पता है व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ लर्निंग आउटकम एंड कोर्स ऑब्जेक्टिव? No. So learning outcome means after completing the course, what we will learn and what is the our
सर आवाज ठीक है.
hello, the learning
आवाज
out.
कैसे नहीं आ रही.
Okay okay, 1 minute.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है सर. आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Okay okay, मैं क्लोज हो जाता हूँ थोड़ा सा. Learning outcomes means after completing the course the student will have the following learning outcomes means what after completing the course what the student will learn from this course. First learning outcome of this course object oriented programming is understanding of feature of C++. What are the features of C++? And it follows object oriented programming. So what are the features of object oriented programming? You will learn after completing the course. The second learning outcomes of this course is understand the relative merit of C++. What दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है? दिखाई तो दे रहा है बेटा. We are discussing this point or this learning outcome. Learning outcome second.
क्लियर नहीं आ रही सर.
क्लियर नहीं आ रही है आवाज. ओके मैं थोड़ा लाउडली लाउड बोलता हूँ सर समझ में आए इससे. द सेकंड
अटक रहा है आवाज.
हेलो
आवाज आ रही है.
आवाज अभी भी नहीं आ रही.
नहीं सर, कट रहा है आवाज.
अभी आ रही है.
एक हो रही है सर आवाज.
अब आवाज आ रही है.
हाँ सर.
आ रही है, आ रही है.
The second learning outcome of this course is understand the relative merits of C++ as an object-oriented programming language. So, what are the merits and demerits of C++ as an object-oriented programming? We will learn after completing this course. The third objective learning outcome of this course is understand how to produce object-oriented software using C++. So after completing this course, you will be able to code the program in C++. The fourth learning outcome is understand how to apply the measure object-oriented concept to implement object-oriented programming in C++, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. When after completing the course, you will able to use this kind of feature of C++, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. The last learning outcome of this course is understand the concept of understand the advanced feature of C++, like stream input output, templates, operator overloading. So this is the learning outcome of this subject. And what are the objective of this course? Objective. What is the meaning of objective? And if you know, you can unmute yourself and can speak. What is the meaning of objective? I'm not talking about the course objective. I'm just asking what is the meaning of objective. Anyone? No one knows the meaning of objective.
What is the aim of our purpose, or what is the main purpose of?
Yes, exactly. Objective means what is the purpose? What is the aim? Means what you are doing your graduation. What is your objective? What you are going from point A to point B. What is your objective to move from point A to point B? Suppose you are going somewhere. Suppose you are going Delhi. What is the objective of going Delhi? Or suppose you are going Mumbai. Means objective means what is the purpose? Why we are doing that thing? The same thing is here. Course objective means what is the objective of this course? Why we are studying this course? Before we are doing anything, there is some kind of objective. Suppose you are
Yes.
watching this lecture, there is some objective why you are watching. So everything has some objective. So in the same way, course has some objective. Why we are studying this subject? So there is I defined 4 objective of this course. We are studying this subject in this semester. The first objective is develop basic understanding of structure in C and C++, pointer to structure, structure to function, and user defined data type. We will our objective is to learn or understand the concept of C, C++ in structure in C++. The second objective of this course is understanding of object-oriented features. what are the features of object-oriented programming, and demonstrate adaptness of the object-oriented programming in developing solutions. Means what are the features of object programming and how we can use these features for developing a solution for a problem using some kind of features of object programming like data abstraction, encapsulation, and inheritance. The third course objective, or in the short form we say is CO. The third CO is learn syntax. What are the syntax of this programming? What are the features of how to utilize the standard template libraries? There's a many libraries defined defining for C++. And what are the standard of that libraries? Learn other features of C++ language, including template, exception, form casting, conversions, converting all the features of language. And the last objective of this course is design object-oriented programming solution for a small system invoking multiple objects. Means means at the last we will learn object-oriented. We will create a solution using object-oriented programming. Okay, so this is the our course objective and learning outcome of this course. As you have seen the syllabus, the first unit is introduction, review of structure in C. As C, I think you have studied this subject C in first semester. Is it clear? You have studied this subject C.
Yes, sir.
Anyone can?
सर क्वेश्चन सर
You have studied this subject C.
किसको
पूछना था सर
Yes.
सर ये यूज क्या करना
No one studied this subject in first semester. PPS.
Yes,
Program-
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Programming
Yeah.
problem solving.
बैक है उसमें तो
बैक है,
Yes, sir.
इसलिए तो पढ़ा नहीं, इसलिए तो बैक है
आपने बात ही नहीं किया सर,
क्या?
आज ही नहीं किया।
बैक है, सभी लोगों का बैक है।
No, sir.
Before I start this subject,
हाँ
one more thing I want to tell. This subject, object-oriented programming, is not an easy subject for especially textile students because it's completely a programming. And many of you or textile students not very much interested in studying this subject, so not showing interest. Many of you not even pass this subject in first attempt. Is it your record of textile? So I'm just going to warn you. Don't take this subject very easily.
सर इस बार तो इंटरनल मार्क्स अच्छे भेज देना।
Internal marks doesn't matter. You have to write in your final exam.
मेरे तो
मार्क्स अच्छे
उसमें
गए
बैक
नहीं
लगी
गए
थी सर,
ये डिपेंड करता है आपके ऊपर, आपने क्या परफॉर्म किया मिड टर्म में।
मेरे तो उससे बैक लगी थी।
आप जो एग्जाम में परफॉर्म करोगे वही आपको मार्क्स आएंगे ना, या मिड टर्म में परफॉर्म करो वही मार्क्स आएंगे ना। टीचर्स इंडिपेंडेंट है यहाँ पर, टीचर्स पे आपके मार्क्स डिपेंडेंट नहीं है। आपसे मैं कोई क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा मिड टर्म में, आप आंसर लिखोगे तभी उसके मार्क्स मिलेंगे ना। ये अच्छे मार्क्स गए ये तो कोई पॉइंट ही नहीं है ना। अच्छे मार्क्स जाते कैसे हैं? जैसे आप लिखते हो जैसे आते हैं ना। हाँ, किसी को कुछ बोलना है इस पे? फ्री डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं। जैसे और फर्स्ट क्लास सब्जेक्ट स्टार्ट इस पर आप लोग को कुछ डाउट है फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर का, क्वेरी रिगार्डिंग दिस सब्जेक्ट? बट ये चीज और अच्छे से आप क्लियर कर लीजिए, आपको ये सब्जेक्ट पढ़ना होगा। आप लोग के सीनियर्स का रिकॉर्ड इतना अच्छा नहीं है इस सब्जेक्ट का, क्योंकि वो समझते हैं हम लोग टेक्सटाइल वाले हैं, ये सब्जेक्ट क्यों पढ़े, बट ऐसा कोई लॉजिक नहीं है। आप नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो आप पास नहीं होंगे, बिना पास किए तो आप डिग्री नहीं ले सकते ना, कोई भी सब्जेक्ट। माइक्रोफोन ऑन, इसको ऑफ कीजिए। बेटा किसी को कुछ बोलना है, स्टार्ट करें सब्जेक्ट, स्टार्ट कर दें?
Yes.
ठीक है, हम स्टार्ट करते हैं। द फर्स्ट टॉपिक इज स्ट्रक्चर इन सी। आई एम श्योर all of you have studied this subject in first semester, or I'm just considering you have studied this subject, because the whole unit of this subject is already studied in first semester. So I'm just starting this unit, considering you have studied.
हेलो
Hello?
रूम के अंदर
थोड़ा लाउडली बोलो, क्या बोल रहे हो?
सर आप के अंदर नहीं आ पा रहे हैं
आधे बच्चे सुन नहीं पा रहे, बेटा क्या बोल रहे हो? हेलो,
सर।
एक काम कीजिए, जो लोग अभी इस लेक्चर को सुन रहे हैं या देख रहे हैं, वो देख दोनों रहे हैं, वो लोग कमेंट में पी लिख के मैसेज कर दीजिए। पी मीन्स यू आर प्रेजेंट इन दिस lecture. I will consider as its attendance of your this class. So just write in comment box, comment or chat box P. So I will know you are attending this subject, this lecture. So I am starting this structure in C. Structure. Introduction of structure, array of structure, pointer of structure, nested structure, and passing structure to function. These are objective of this first unit. हेलो, आप लोग को आवाज नहीं आ रही? किसी का माइक्रोफोन ऑन है इसलिए आवाज नहीं आ रही। आप लोग अपना
हाँ सर, ये
माइक्रोफोन ऑफ कीजिए।
अजीब अजीब सी आवाज
हाँ, क्या बोल रहे हैं? बेटा आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है। मैं यहाँ से अनम्यूट करूँ क्या फिर? 1 मिनट, सारों को आप लोग अनम्यूट कर देता हूँ।
यस सर, अनम्यूट कर दो सर, ये जिसका भी ऑन है सर।
सबका म्यूट हो गया है। So start the structure. Oh man. What is the problem? So the problem. What is the problem before structure? Why we introduce this concept structure? How to group together a collection of data item of different type that are logically related to a particular entry. Means before the structure or arrays, there is some kind of data type. In that data type we store some values, but each time we can store a single value into a data type. Means we cannot store more than one values into a single data type or single variable. So for storing more than one value into a single variable, we introduce array, but there is some limitation. Array store multiple values but similar type. array cannot store more than more than one types of data type value into a single variable. So there is some limitation. What is the limitation? It store only homogeneous data type. Homogeneous means at a time it stores the same a single data type. Single means suppose you are talking about the int array means it will store only integer values. Suppose your character array is will store only character values, or float array means it will store only float values. Number of values will only float type. It can't store more than one type of data type into single variable. So how we can solve this problem using structure? Structure is a data type which can store more than one data type into a single variable. So it store collection of data type into a single variable. The definition: structure is a collection of variables of different data type under a single name. Means a single variable can store more than one data type, and the variable are called the member of the structure. The variable which belongs to that structure is called the member of that structure, and the structure is also known as user defined data. Why we calling it user defined? Because user is defining the structure of that data type. That's why it's called user defined. Means our user, or we are defining here the structure of our data type. An int is predefined. We cannot change the structure of int, float, char. So that is a system data type, or we cannot change the data type. But in user defined, we are defining our structure. Let's see what is a structure. The structure of the syntax of structure. How we declare, or what is the syntax of structure? Use struct keyword, then your variable name. Struct keyword, then variable name, curly braces open, and data type. Data type, first data type one, and the variable name. Second data type and variable name two. As n number of data type we can define here, and followed by variable name and curly braces closed and semicolon. This is a simple syntax of structure. Struct is the keyword, variable name, then collection of data type, curly braces closed and semicolon. Once a structure name is declared as a new data type, then variable of data type can be declared as. Suppose here we have declared our structure name. When we declare the structure name, we can declare its variable. Structure name, followed by variable name. What we are defining our variable's name. Memory allocation. The memory of the member of structure. This is the member. It's called the member of a structure. The member of a structure do not occupy memory until they are associated with structure variable. So the water we are telling, this is the member of structure, and this structure member will not occupy memory until we are declaring this variable, structure variable. When we declare the structure variable, the member variable will occupy memory. We will discuss all this concept. No problem. Is example of structure. Struct is the keyword, Struct is the keyword, and this is our structure name student. We are declaring structure for student. So student, what are the members of this student? Student name, student's roll number, student marks, student gender, student phone number. These are the member variable of this struct student, means structure student. The name, which data type? It's character data type. Roll number is integer. Marks is float data type. Gender, character, and phone number, it's long int. Curly braces, semicolon, means we have declared this structure student. And how we declare the variable of this structure student? Struct student is a keyword, and your variable name. Here our variable name is defined as st. It's a variable name st. Its type of st is student, which is structure. How we read it. Our variable name is st. Structure type is student, and its structure. Only one variable is declared st. How we can declare multiple variable here? Just separate by comma. Struct student st1, st2, st3, means we can declare more than one variable at the same time. Defining a structure. Each variable of a structure has its own copy of member variables. Means when we declare more than one structure variable, each variable has its own copy of member variables. Means suppose we are declaring 2, 3. Here we declared 3 variable st1, st2, st3. All these 3 structure variable has its own copy of all this member variable. Means each student has its name, unique name. Student 2 has its name, student 3 has its name. Student st1 has its own roll number, own marks, own gender, own phone number. Means each structure member has its own copy of all these members. The member variable are accessed using dot operator. When we have to access this member variable, these are the member variable: marks, roll number, name, gender, phone number. How we can access this variable? Using dot operator. Means suppose st1 dot roll number, means we are talking about the roll number of student s1. Suppose I write st. Suppose I want to access the gender of third student. So I have to write st3 dot gender. I want to access the gender of third student. So I have to write st dot gender. Dot is a access operator. We are accessing the member variable of this structure student. In this point, we are discussing this. So the member variable are accessed using the dot operator or member operator. This dot operator is also called member operator. For example, st1 dot name. st1 dot name is the name of student 1. Is the member variable name of st1 structure variable. While st3 dot gender means the gender of student third. Is the just structure of structure, defining the structure, how it's declared. The structure definition and variable declaration can be combined as struct student. Struct is a keyword. Struct is a keyword, and student is your structure name. Is your structure name. Your structure name is student, and all these are the member variable. In the curly braces, what we have declared is called a member variable. So student is your structure name, and all these are the member variable. Student and some here 5 member variables: student name, student roll number, student marks, student gender, student's phone number, and these are the variable structure variable. Is it clear? Again, see, struct is the keyword for declaring the structure. Struct followed by your structure name. Here my structure name is student. Then open curly braces. In open curly braces, you can declare member variable of this structure. Character name. The size of name is 20. Is 20 character length. Maximum length of name is 20 character. Int roll number, marks, gender, these are the member variable, and this is the structure variable. Again, you can declare like this your structure as well. Struct, just you can leave structure name. There's no need to mention your structure name if you are declaring your variable right after the curly braces. Then there is no need to mention structure name here. But don't, as of now, I'm not recommending you to do this. You just remember this declaration type syntax. Just you don't go for this. This is also correct way, but I'm not suggesting you for as a beginner. How we can initialize the structure? Initialization of structure. The syntax is struct. Struct is the keyword structure. Your structure name. Suppose your structure name is student. Struct student name followed by your variable name st1, st2, st3. What you are giving the name of your variable equals to curly braces open. Then the value of each member variable. Value of first member variable, value of second member variable, value of third member variable. Curly braces, close semicolon. This is the simple initialization of structure. Struct your structure name, your structure variable equals to open curly braces, the value of each member variable, curly braces close, and semicolon. There is one-to-one correspondence between the member and their initialized value. Means the first value what you're defining here will go to the first member variable, value of first member variable. What you defining the value to, it will go to the second member variable. The last corresponding to the last variable, last member variable. So there is a one-to-one correspondence. Note: C does not allow initialization of individual structure member within the structure definition template. But the meaning of this point is, suppose your structure of your student structure. Student has this is the template, and you cannot declare or initialize any member variable at the time of declaring structure. You are declaring structure student. You cannot declare. You cannot set the roll number is 100. It's not C allowed here. Just in the template, you cannot initialize any member variable. C does not allow initialization of individual structure member within the structure definition template. Is it clear? Simple program of structure. Declare your structure. Here my structure name is student. The first member variable of student structure is name. The maximum length is 50 character. The second member variable is roll number, type integer. The third member variable is marks, type float. The fourth member variable is gender, type character. The last member variable is phone number, and then data type is long unit. Curly braces, rows, and semicolon. This is the we are defining the template of student. Void main is the main function of your C program. Main is the main function of C program where program start, and void is the return type of this main function. Void means it is not returning anything. Now here you are declaring an initializing structure. Struct student means the variable st1 type is student, which is structure. The first value we have given is ABC. The first value will put one minute. First value will go to your first member variable. Means the ABC is the name of student st1. The second value will go to the second member variable. The roll number of this student st1 is 4. The third value, meaning the third member variable, is marks. Means the student st1 has 79.5 marks. And the next value will correspond to the next member variable, gender m. Gender is m, and the last value will go to the last member variable of your structure student. This phone number, the phone number of this student st1. So the st1 variable has name ABC, roll number 4, marks 79.5, gender male, and this is the phone number of student st1. Is it clear? After declaring an installation of the structure st1, clear your screen. This is a function I'm sure you have seen in your first semester. Clear screen. Printf is a print command for any statement or message. Printf parenthesis double quotation name /t/t/t. Anyone of you know the meaning of /t? Unmute yourself and tell me the meaning of backslash t.
Next line, next step,
What is the meaning?
next step.
Next step. Yes, exactly. Backslash t means just create the space of one tab. One t, then again t, then again t means 3 tab space will be created. Means it will print name, first name, then first t is t1, t2, and t3. It will create that much space. Then next roll number it will print. Then again backslash t means again one tab space will create. Then marks. Then again 2 tab will create. Then print gender. Again one tab create. Then phone number. This kind of message will displayed on your screen. The next line backslash n. Again, what is the meaning of backslash n? Please unmute and speak.
Next line.
Next line, exactly. Backslash n means the next line. It will jump. Your cursor will jump into next line. Then print f backslash n. In new line. %s is the format specifier for string. Your name is string. Then I specify %s. Then again 2 tab space %d. Percent is the format specifier for integer value. Roll number is integer, so I just write %d. %f is format specifier for the float value. %ld is format specifier for long integer, because my phone number is long integer. So I'm specifying %LD. %C is format specifier for the character because the gender variable st1.gender is a character. Double quotation, comma, then your name, sorry, roll number, marks, %F, gender, %C, and phone number LD, %LD. Then semicolon, parenthesis close, semicolon, get ch. Get ch is the function we use for holding the screen. And after running the program, the program will output will like this:
D
name,
क्या है D?
number, marks, gender, phone number, corresponding value of this variable.
सर परसेंटेज D क्या है?
Percentage
D
D means
हाँ
decimal. It's integer value. It is format specifier for integer value.
ओके सर.
Okay. So let's wind up this class. Here I'm stopping. Hello. I'm winding this class right now. In the next class, we will discuss structure, pointer, and array of structure. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Closing this session. Next. आप लोग की सारी क्लास इसी वेबएक्स प्लेटफॉर्म पे होगी. ओके. और यही आपकी मीटिंग आईडी है. ऑलवेज इसी मीटिंग आईडी पे क्लास
Yes, sir.
होगी. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्लास भी इसी मीटिंग आईडी पे होगी. ओके.
Yes, sir.
ओके ठीक है. थैंक यू.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Saturday तो क्लास होगी क्या?
बाय.
हेलो सर.
हाँ बोलो बेटा.
सर कल सेकंड सैटरडे है तो क्लास होगी क्या?
नहीं, सेकंड सैटरडे क्लास नहीं होगी.
ओके सर.
जो भी हॉलीडे ना, हॉलीडे के छोड़ के सारे दिन क्लास होगी. ठीक है.
Timing
हॉलीडे पे. ओके जी.
सर
टाइमिंग यही रहेगी.
हाँ,
टाइमिंग सर, टाइमिंग यही रहेगी.
टाइमिंग आपने मैसेज में लिखा वही होगी टाइमिंग.
ओके सर.
Okay, sir.
थैंक यू.
थैंक यू सर.